Hello, once again, this is part 1. What if Deku was a butler? This is 12th try, I think? Anyway, this story starts about when Deku was 2. Bakugo and Deku are playing around, talking about how they want to be heroes. Bakugo says he wants to be like All Might, be famous and powerful, and be how to protect someone. He's a lot kinder than Canon. And Deku says, yeah, I kind of want to be like All Might, but I prefer Eraserhead since, he doesn't want fame, he just does it for to be a hero, of course. Bakugo scoffs like, Eraserhead, who's he? Some D-lister? So, then, the dreadful day. The Quirk Doctor. The Quirk Doctor goes as normally, but a bit different. They do some tests. The Quirk Doctor walks in with a blank stare and says, "Sorry, ma'am, your son's quirkless. I really hope you're the best." Her face goes from a grin to sadness to disgust. She's disgusted by him. She once saw a promising young little boy, but now she sees just trash, just a stepping stone, something that, just a nuisance, a challenge. So she grabs him by the arm and saying, "Izuku, no, Deku's a better name, we're going home." So they start going home, and once they're in the car, Deku says, Mum, can I be a hero?" "Shut up, you little Deku, you can't do anything, you shouldn't. Why would you become a hero? How could you become a hero?" This makes Deku extremely sad. He sits in the corner, reflecting on his short, happy existence, and now knowing that the rest of his life is going to be torture. So once he gets home, his dad's on the table drinking some tea. He turns around and says, "Oh, Izuku, so, did you get a good quirk? Oh, what is it?" He says, I'm quirkless." His dad looks at him, his ruined face, and his eyes start to be filled with anger, and he says, "You quirkless? So you're telling me you've wasted 4 years of our lives just to tell us that you're quirkless? You're a mistake from the start. Now go to your room before I make you." So he rushes to his room and cries himself to sleep. The next day, he goes downstairs to get breakfast, but it's not on the table. He goes into the lounge and asks his mum for breakfast, but she replies with a sharp slap and saying, "You need to make your own breakfast. You're useless. You're actually a hindrance to us. So do you mind if you want to live in this house, you're going to have to do chores and make your own breakfast. And you're not allowed to have anything nice. You can only have oatmeal or porridge." So he first makes himself porridge and starts cleaning. He accidentally breaks a dish whilst doing it, so Hisashi comes and uses his belt for a different purpose. So when he goes to school, Bakugo awakens his quirk. He starts bragging about it. When he finds out Deku's quirkless, he says, "Don't worry, Deku, you can still become a hero. You still have a chance." And that makes Deku happy. And then Bakugo smashes him in the face and smashes him in the stomach, making him winding Deku, and says, "You becoming a hero? What a dream, what a fantasy, that will never happen. You're quirkless, you're a Deku, useless in every way." Deku, having a slight hope be crushed once again, feels empty inside. A month passes. His parents have a happy look on their face, what surprises him. He says, "We're going on a trip. We're going to show you a place that you'll really like. You'll be with you'll be around things that you'll be around people and things that are similar to you. So they go in their car, they drive to a slums, the dark alleyways of the city, the poor area. They open the door and push Deku out, saying, "Yeah, you should just stay here, where the trash is just like you, useless Deku." They get in the car and start driving off. Deku tries to grab the car but can't catch up. Another month passes, trying to beg and learn the ways of the street. But he begs, he barely survives for a month. And then this guy, tall, in a black suit, he has white hair, and can't really see his face in the darkness. Deku's wondering, who is this man? Sorry, I just had to cut that out. Okay, let's carry on. A dark man in a waistcoat, white hair. You probably can guess who it is. He says, "Kid, why are you in the slums?" He says, because I was abandoned." And he says, "Why were you abandoned? You look like a normal kid." And he says, "Because I'm Quirkless." He laughs out, saying, "You, Quirkless? Well, those parents just don't see the potential. Do you want to come with me, and I'll show you a purposeful life, one where you're strong, and nothing will stand in your way?" Deku accepts. He makes a portal, but it's blue, like from Portal 2. They go through, and they're in this hallway, a long hallway. Deku recognizes it and says, "Wait, is this a mansion?" He's surprised by it. And the man says, "I introduced myself. My name is Benjamin. I'm a butler. Or should I say, and I work for a company that I'll tell you later. What is your name?" "My name is Deku. No, sorry, Azuku." "Ah, they called you Deku. I can see that, and that makes sense. Anyway, I'll get you something to eat and also show you to your dorms for now." So he has something to eat, goes to bed. The next morning, a maid knocks on the door. The maid walks in saying, "Ah, you, the new apprentice, you shall be training. First, we need to give you a meal, wash you up because you rank, and get you some proper clothes and not those rags." So he has a shower, then gets dressed, and then the maid leads him to some huge doors. He thinks, is this a giant there? And has a slight headache, like he said that in the past, or maybe a past life. When they go in, he sees this room full of equipment, a kitchen, a laundry room, doors. He's really surprised about that. Some training dummies and tables. Benjamin is standing there straight as an arrow. And he says, "Ah, young Azuku, today we shall be training you in some basic butlery. So, first you'll need to be able to pour tea and service like most butlers, and how to greet and proper manners." So Deku starts with that. He learns how to pour tea, greet rich people, important people, how to cook, laundry. He really enjoys cooking, surprisingly, even though it reminds him of his past life. Then he goes on to the fourth and most important room. Benjamin says, "Ah, yes, this is the most important thing for a high-class butler, of course. You need to be able to defend your master." So he says, "Put this waistcoat on." It's basically like a black suit with... It's kind of like that classic penguin suit with a little tail at the back. That's why it's called a waistcoat. So he puts it on and he falls to the ground saying, "Ah, this is so heavy." He's surprised by its weight and he says, "Ah, yes, this is weighted clothing, so you can become the strongest that you can." A benefit of weighted clothing is that it's bulletproof, so you can take a bullet for your master and still protect them. So he starts training, first getting used to the suit, retraining everything. He also starts learning some business skills and judge of character. Then he is given some metal gloves, kind of like what are they called? Brawling gloves. So it's kind of like a gauntlet but chain. And he says, "So first you shall be learning the basic combat of a butler. You should be able to beat quirked people in combat, protect your master whilst doing it, and most importantly, looking like a badass. Or should I say elegant?" Slang these days. Ugh. Anyway, so he starts training in hand-to-hand combat, also whilst doing it gracefully, kind of like what's the one in season 4, Gentle Gentleman. Yeah, that weird person. So after another 6 months, Benjamin says, "Ah, you are now ready." This is when Deku is like 4.5. So Benjamin says, "So I will be taking you to my masters, and you shall become someone's servant." They go in a limousine to this huge house, a huge estate. It's probably spans for a few miles. And it's a house surrounded by, like on one side, a huge skyscraper and technology buildings, modern, and on the other side, a huge forest. So they drive to the front door and knock on it, and there, a tall man, looking very smart in a posh suit, and same with a woman in a dress, and a little girl with black hair. So he says, "Ah, madame and sir, this is Izuku. He shall be Momo's new butler. Although he's quirkless, he is the best student I've trained and a fast learner." The man says, "Quirkless? That hasn't stopped you though, has it? So we shall. So let's see how it works out." And for a month he does a trial period, seeing how it would be. Momo is surprised of how well he does everything, how elegant it is. He's good at chess, business, talking to her, making her happy, helping her, and serving her as a basic butler. So the years go by. He starts attending the private school with her, but of course at home, in his spare time, he has to read and keep up above her studies. He's probably in high school he's probably in a high school level, a junior of course, grade 6th? Or no, 6th. I think that's what you call it. So he's very smart for his age. Far ahead of everybody everybody. He goes until no, what do they call it in America? One sec, guys, let me just type it up. You call it middle school. They're in middle school. And then, should I say they enter middle school in 6th grade. So, in 6th grade, it's a new day, and people in their class are Todoroki, Ida, and Momo, the main ones, and some other people. Of course, they all have butlers. They're rich. So on the first day, there's these two people. They are wearing, each uniform has badges on it, showing each other's wealth. Momo has 3 because she's one of the richest people there. Ida has